So you've set up your online event for your party. You've created your VO event. You've given your hostess their hostess packet and hostess coached them, and it's the night of the party. So I usually write myself a little outline, and it's nothing too fancy. It's usually just a scribbled on outline just to give myself a set flow of the evening. If I'm having a large party, I usually end up doing stations. That seems to work the best. If I'm having a really small party, 2 to 3 people, a coffee table party is perfect. I put everything on a coffee table. We all kind of sit around, chat. I get more of the guest mode that way, and we share and smell products that way. I'm going to go through kind of how I do my big group parties. So this is going to be like 8 people or more. I usually set them up into stations. So I have everyone grab a snack, a drink, and then sit down, usually in the living room. Welcome everybody to the party. I tell them about myself. I'm Melissa. I'm a perfectly posh consultant. I'm a mom of 3 kiddos. I'm a tooth scraper during the day, so I'm a dental hygienist. Tell them a few things about myself. Then I have them go around and say their name, because most of the time I don't know all these guests. I say, tell me your name and your favorite way to be pampered or to relax. And I go around and I listen. And Sarah might like to relax by taking a bubble bath. Ooh, we have bubble bath products. So I put that in the back of my mind. You might have Bridget, she likes to get her hands massaged. Well, we have some really great hand creams. We have some people that like to read. Well, while they're reading, we can soak their feet. So I just think about things, products that might appeal to them with the ways they like to be pampered. Once they go around the room and introduce themselves, then I explain to them what Posh is and why I Posh. So I give a little brief background on my Posh story, how I got started with Posh, and what Posh is. So we are a naturally based pampering company. Everything's $25 or less. Buy 5, get the 6 free, excluding the $4 lip balms. Let them know that we're lanolin, paraben, sodium lauryl sulfate free, but we do have lots of yeses. So the yeses are milk, honey, beeswax, shea butters, essential oils. We just have all these wonderful ingredients in our products. We are a cruelty-free company, so we do not use lanolins. We do not use sodium talate, which is a derived animal fat. Who wants to put animal fat on their skin anyways? So I tell them a few things. I don't go into extreme detail, less than a minute of what Posh is. Then I set them up into stations. So the first station is my facial station, and I always usually do this in the bathroom. The first thing they're going to do at the facial station is either use the Gender Bender or the Perfect. These I have already cut in little teeny tiny sample chunks, and I usually put them in Ziploc baggies. They get a choice, so they're wiping all that daily grime off their face, okay? That's going to be the first thing. And I guess I do give them, I am now at the point in the business where I have wash rags and hand towels, but you can have your hostess supply it, or I've even had guests bring their own, and if they brought their own wash rag and hand towel, they get a ticket or an extra guest for a guesting game. So you can do that as well. So they'll have their own wash rag and towel, and they'll keep those same wash rag and towel with them throughout the party. Then we're going to apply a mask. I try to avoid the mask that's going to make them really red and burny and kind of tingly and panicky, because I don't want them to be afraid to try our products. So I usually pick 2 or 3 masks. I've been doing the Smashing Pumpkin because of it being fall. The Muddy Honey is always a good choice. The In the Clear is pretty intense as far as like pepperminty eye watering goes, but it's a really good mask as well. The one I've had a lot of success with, which I was surprised because you have to really like lemongrass, is the Drop Dead Gorgeous. But I try to limit it to 2 or 3 masks unless someone has like a special request. Have them do the mask. If it says 5 minutes, I do 2 minutes and 50 seconds. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, sorry. So I try to cut the time in half for their first time using a mask. You can always have them try it on the inside of their arm right here. So once they get their mask on, I have them go sit in the room, and the next batch comes in, gets their face washed, gets their mask on. They go sit, and then so I usually split it up in 2 groups. And then the first group comes back in. We're going to wash off the mask. So your BFF, your Complexion Perfection, your Delish face wash. I'm going to give them choices and find out what their face needs are. So this is one area I do usually stay in. And we're going to rinse and we're going to moisturize. Second station. So once they're done, they can move on to the second station. I have sheets at the stations to tell them what to do in case I'm not there with them. Second station is going to be your mini chunk, and you can either do it where you have slices of chunks on a little tray, and I've done that before, and people can pick up a few slices and smell them and then wash their hands with it. Or you can do little teeny pieces of a few chunks, and they can pick up an individual piece. That's more sanitary that way. Then they're going to use a scrub. Always use a paddle, and sometimes I tell them at the beginning we're going to use paddles, not our fingers, to dip into everything. It's really tempting for people to want to dip their fingers in or smell it and then they get it on their nose. So we use little paddles. I have them sitting, I have a cup with paddles, and then I have a discard cup so they can use little paddles in. Paddles look like little gelato spoons is what I use. They just look like a little pink paddle. Once they do the scrub, and I tell them wet their hand, put the scrub on, scrub around 30 seconds to a minute. No need to take your jewelry off. It's sugar or salt based, so it's just going to melt around it. Then we're going to finish with a big fat yummy hand cream. And let them know they only need a pea size amount. So I have them all sitting out, the ones I have, and they get to pick what they want. And then if I have it with me, and sometimes I forget it, or I forget where I put it, and I find it in the stick section, is the Cuticle Cutie stick. And I use a little toothpick, have them scrape off the top of that, just put a dot on the tip of their nails, and then go back in and rub those in. So at that station, I'm not a huge game person. I don't like to sit and play games. I think it's better just to have everyone trying product, get product on people, and have them moving around. Then we do a guessing game, or a voting game. Sometimes I mix it up a little bit. But I love our packing peanuts for guessing games. I think our packing peanuts are so much fun. So right now I've been doing a pumpkin, a glass pumpkin my kids broke the lid to. I put packing peanuts inside, and I say, guess how many packing peanuts. Write your name, write how many beside it, and pick a prize. So I'll say you'll get a big fat yummy hand cream, the closest without going over. And then I'll just add it to their order because they're already paying the shipping on it. I'll just pay for that particular hand cream when I put the order in. And they'll pay the tax, and not tax, but the shipping and stuff on it. The other option that I've done so someone gets a prize is to vote. So I might have 2 hand creams or 2 chunk bars, and I usually have I make up little columns. So a column for your name, a column for, we'll say, amazing, and a column for shameless flirt. I'll have them smell those hand creams, put their name down, and an X beside which one they liked better. Then I cut their names into little slips of paper, and I draw a name at the end, and that person gets that hand cream that they voted on. So that gets them testing products, thinking, do I like this better, or do I like that better? So I like doing that too. You can do that with the hand creams, the Skin Delicious, the chunks. It works really well for those. Then, when they've done their face and their mini manis, it's time for them to sit and relax, and that is when I bust out my folder. I don't usually give them the folder beforehand. If anything, if I give them the folder, I'll just tell them to grab this card out, put it on the front, don't open the catalog or anything. I want them to try everything first. Give them a pen, let them write down what they tried. So I may give them this up front just to use this card. But this is when I have them get out their catalog, sit down, relax. I'm going to apply the caffeinator. Or I'm going to give them a little paddle with caffeinator, put it under their eyes. I have a cold mask that they put on when they're sitting. Fill up their water tubs for their feet. So I need the tubs and I need the bucket to fill them with. Usually I use a clean mop bucket that I purchased just for the foot scrubs. And I fill it up about halfway. That way I can always add warm water and keep the water warm for everybody. So I add water. Then I'm going to add either our all mixed up Epsom salts or our witchy wash right now, one of the Poshy Mellow Posh Life collections. So Poshy Mellow body wash or the bubble bath works well, just a teeny little bit, and have them mix around their feet just so they have a little soak going on. Then we need to exfoliate the feet so the mask works better. So you can use a walk on the beach foot scrub, any of our scrubs, or lately I've been using the Snarky bar. So I take the Snarky bar, the big bar, and I cut it long ways in half. So I have 2 long pieces. And then I cut that down into little pieces and put them into little jewelry baggies. I think I get 100 of them for 99 cents at Walmart in the jewelry section. I get them either in the little size or I get them in the big size where I can throw a business card in. So I have them 2 different sizes. But I put a piece of Snarky bar in there and they can use that to scrub their feet. Then they can wash that off and I add a mask to their feet. So we do the stripper, which is detox mask. I have some pink putty left. It's a moisturizing peppermint mask. It's discontinued, so you may not be able to find that. Or the muddy honey, which is a healing mask. So I use one of those 3 on the feet. And I just have them prop their feet over the sides of their bucket, so till it dries. And it's usually like 5 minutes. At that time, they can still be looking through their catalogs, asking questions. I like to take a chunk bar out of the paper, fold the tops down, and I should have grabbed one to show you, and pop my chunk bar back in and pass them around as sniffers so they can smell all my chunk bars, because I usually only offer 2, 3, maybe 4 at the most for them when they're doing their mini-manis. So I pass around the sniffers, and let them ask questions about the product. Then, once their feet are dried with the mask, we're going to wash it off, and I usually add more water to their bucket and let their feet just kind of soak for a few minutes. And this is when they can start filling out their orders form. And by now their mask is probably getting, so it's not, their face mask is probably not cold anymore, so they can take that off, rub in the caffeinator if it's not rubbed in the whole way. And sometimes, in addition to the caffeinator, if I have someone that has a headache, I'll use a perk stick for them too. Let them put it in their temples, behind their ears, back of their neck, a little bit on their forehead with that mask, and that seems to really help, especially with tension headaches or migraines. Once they wash off the mask, then they are going to use a moisturizer. I've been using the Skin Fixin', which is one of our summer products. You can also use the Skin Delicious. It comes in, I think, 6 different fragrances. And just a little bit goes a long way. Let them rub that in and put their socks back on. You can also use our soothing stick. You'd have to roll it out like a tube of lipstick and slice it down. And I guess you could use the Rubby Scrubby. You'd have to do the same thing with that. Roll it out like a tube of lipstick and slice it down into slices to hand out to everybody. I just like using the Snarky bar better as opposed to the Rubby Scrubby. It's just easier to cut. And then I'm going to seal everything with a kiss. So they've got their hands, their face, and their feet done. Last thing is seal it with a kiss. I have my lip scrubs, and I let them have a choice of, right now I have all of them, but at least a choice of 2. And I use toothpicks, or I found these really cool cocktail toothpicks that have hearts and spades and clubs on them. And I just use that little paddle and give them a little bit of lip scrub on their lip. Have them whisper around, rub it in the corners. After about 30-40 seconds, lick their lips, because it's going to dissolve into the lips anyways. Some people don't like to lick their lips, so they can wipe their mouth. That's fine too. And ask if they have any questions. Make sure that I reiterate that it's buy 5, get 6 free. And when I'm helping them with their orders, I am going to look for ways to upsell. So if someone comes to me with their order form, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4 items on their order form, I'm going to say, if you buy 1 more, you'll get a free item. Okay? So they buy 1 more, maybe spend $9, they can get another $9 chunk bar. Okay? That's one way to upsell. Another way is to say, oh, well, I see that you have a moisturizer and a face wash and a gender blender bar, but you don't have a mask. And so maybe recommend, hey, you could complete your facial if you included a mask. Or, oh, I see that you have a scrub but you don't have a chunk bar, or you have a scrub but don't have a moisturizer. or things that are complimentary. Like, I noticed that you got the little snarky hand cream and the snarky butter, body butter. Did you know that our classic snarky bar has the same fragrance? Or we have the little snarky bath salts in our all mixed up collection in the same fragrance. So if they were really liking a certain smell, maybe offer them that option. When we add everything up, you're going to, and I always add the $5 in. I don't know if you can see this, but $5 in that shipping spot, because it's $5 shipping all the time. So I put it in there ahead of time. They're going to add everything up. If it's a free item, so if it's following on one of these lines, I don't add that. Total everything up. Then add in your $5. MPA at 6%. So if it's a $20 order, I'm going to add in $5. I'm going to take that, so that's $25, and I'm going to multiply it by 0.06. Okay, that's going to give me my tax. Add the tax in, and then I add that tax amount to the $25 to get my total. So if you need help figuring the tax portion out, let me know. I can help you more with that. It tells you about perks on here. Your buy 5, get 1 free, and the $5. Biggest thing is, though, they have to fill this form out completely. They need to put their name, shipping address, and absolutely have to have an email address or we can't submit an order. So, if they're doing credit card, they need to put their signature down here. So, this is a very important piece of paper. So, one thing I didn't mention that I do, and it just depends on in the party where it kind of has a break, where I add it in, is I do booking bags. So, a booking bag can be multiple things. I always have 2 with me. Sometimes if it's a big party, I have 3. It's typically a gift bag, 2 gift bags, and on the front I have a little post-it that says half price item for your hostess at your party if you book a party. And inside, one, I have really cool tissue paper flying out the top with a product inside that they don't know what's inside. They just know there's something in there. Okay, the other one I have Posh Cash that sticks out the top, and they get to pick. If I said, and I have my guests, well, first I have my hostess come up, and I say to my hostess, thank you for hosting, here is the hand cream that you picked out, and I give them hand cream and a few other samples. So, and I let them know that the hostess is going to get perks and that they're also going to get perks. So I keep adding in that perks line in there. Then I said, if you would like to earn perks and free product and like to host a party, please let me know. Your hostess will earn a half price item at your party, so you're guaranteed at least 1 sale. Okay, I've only had 1 party where I didn't get a booking off of the party. Everyone wants to know what's in the bag. And the first person that picks, or that would like to host a party, is going to pick what the bag they want. But you don't get the item until you have your party. So, at the last party I had the Posh Cash hang out the top, and I thought for sure the person was going to go for that $25 in Posh Cash, which is a free product as a catalog. But she wanted to know what was in that goodie bag. So she opened up the goodie bag, and it was a dollar store makeup bag that was black and white stripe, and it had a hand cream and several samplers in it. So like a sample, mini mani sample, a mini facial sample, and I think I might even put a mini pedi sample in there. She was really excited that was going to be her gift. So she just finished up her party, and she didn't get that gift until she was at her party, at her own party. So that's one thing I do is booking bags. One, it helps me get more bookings, and it's going to help with sales. Your hostess is going to help push people to have a party because it's fun, it's easy. I'm not sitting there making everyone have games. I don't like doing the ticket thing, ask me a question about the business. I don't like to push the business on people. I do mention it when I talk about my Why Posh, and usually the week of the party I will post a video about my own personal Why Posh, why I personally poshed, how I got started with Posh, so they already know about it a little bit ahead of time. So people that might seem interested in the Posh opportunity, when I'm doing my follow-up letters, I will get them opportunity flyers. I do have them sitting around, and then I will give them opportunity to ask questions about Posh or about being consultant. So if they have question time, it's not just about products. It can be about Posh. It can be about the business, and I don't have to have all the answers that day. I was always nervous someone would ask me something I wouldn't know what it is. If I don't know it, I will write the question down, and I will contact my upline, contact home office, and get them an answer. And I try to get them an answer within 24 hours. So that is kind of my basic format for a party. I do keep a basic outline on my computer that I just print out and customize for each party, or I'll handwrite it real quick if I need to. And if you have any questions about parties, find me. Thanks.